Hello everyone, I am Snow Monkey and welcome back to my channel. We're back to looking at Ostriv, because a couple of days ago they released their Alpha 4 with some interesting updates. I'm going to try and remember and leave a link to the updates in the description of this video. I shall briefly go over some before fire into a brand new game. There's new types of houses. You can get some houses with gardens, some houses come just as a house, and the ones that come with a garden can grow some crops for themselves. Which is quite interesting because it's like carrots, cabbage, raspberries, cucumber, crops we haven't seen yet. And also the villagers in both types of houses in spring can plant beautiful flowers outside the front to make everything prettier. But some of the more important updates is there's now a construction office which allows you to hire builders over and above the town hall. And also there is a school, so we're starting to see education come into the game. There's also a couple of little decorative features like gazebos and a couple of new production buildings that we'll look at in a minute. A lot of this has been background optimization and some graphics. So let's get started. So we'll go for a new game. There's also a new type of tree. So I think we'll actually use the spruces. And we'll choose a map. I quite like this idea. Lots of rivers to deal with. Interesting. So we'll give map 9 a bash. So, you can see, it's like with different trees. We'll pause this now actually and have a quick look at the map. Still got some snow. In March. It's starting to melt. What's this? Stone? Lots of stone. More stone. Ooh. A big lime deposit. That'll come in handy in the later game. So, I believe we have to start over here. Yep, inaccessible. So we have to start over here. So, shall we go, let's plonk it down? Do we want to start over here, or that wee bit there could be quite interesting, but lots of stone there. This is the big island with lots of lime. There's another couple of deposits. I think we'll start over here. So, production. There's the usual forestry, farms, windmill, chicken coop, cow shed, pigsty, slaughterhouse, tannery, hairdryer, carpentry, charcoal pile, smithies, clay pits, limeworks, lime kiln, mining camp, tailors, weavers, shoemakers, saddlery, thatcheries, oil workshops, and there's now salt works. Building allows you to produce salt from underground brine deposits. In the current version of the game, they are everywhere. You will need 2 horses or 2 oxen to power the brine pumping process. Interesting. You can't mix horses with oxen. Workers will supply food and water for animals according to the supply options. So from that point of view, I would probably go with oxen. They're easier to keep. Pumped brine is stored in the building's collector. To turn it to salt, it needs to evaporate by heat. You can use either firewood or charcoal as a fuel. Salt is produced in batches of 100 units, which takes 30 minutes, or 30 units of charcoal, or 100 units of firewood. You can choose which one. More like charcoal. Charcoal is very easy to make. Than the usual boatyard, fishing docks. So, trade and transport. Anything different in here? Yes. We have a wagon shed. No, cart shed, sorry. Which works similar to the wagon shed. You can employ people just to drive carts about, pull carts about, move things about constantly. It's like advanced labourer. The decoration. We have gazebo 1 and gazebo 2. We should build some of them to have a good look at them. Then education. Primary school. Children of 10 to 15 years of age can apply for a primary school education if their parents are inclined to educate their children. The primary school gives the basic skills of literacy and numeracy required for manager or counsellor jobs. So as much as an education in their game now, it is still basic education. There's still no health, and religion's the same as it was. So, but as you can see, we're still getting the prompt to build a forestry for wood production. Now, where to go first? Well, quite close to the line here, so we'll just stick it over here. So production, forestry. And we'll just rotate the building a little bit. Stick it in here. And we'll get things moving a little bit. So what else do we need? Forestry, production, thatchery always comes in handy. Make it out of the weeds. Clay pit. Spin around. And everything else I'm going to say here is kind of optional-ish. Need a smithy. Wrong button. Spin. Just try and line up a bit there. And also we shall need, what is it? Carpentry. Which is not necessarily essential right now, but I like placing them in. So as we can move the production order anyway. So let's look at the houses. Village house with garden and village house. I'll just quickly go through the description. If a house has a garden, its owners can use it to grow food for sale or for personal consumption. The products from citizens are purchased in granaries and trading posts. A land tax is calculated based on land area, excluding the house itself. And I'll show you how to deal with that in a minute, or how to increase the land area or decrease it. Is paid to the city treasury. You can change this tax in the economy panel. Village house residents heat their houses with firewood, which they buy at a nearby market stall or directly at forestries. The food they don't grow themselves, they buy at local market stalls. So, obviously we're going to go for houses with gardens. Just makes more sense. Start down here. I'll go like this. It's easier to see what I'm about to do. Now, as you can see, there is a new option, F1, customise building, and I like this idea. There's your 4 points to move. Move the house to a corner. You can increase the size of the garden if you want them all to have big gardens. I don't want it in the middle. I want it to the side, or I can put it right up here. I won't go for that. And I don't think the shift button works anymore. I'll just go copy building, because we will need 9 houses before winter. I believe it's still 9. Yep, it's still 9. But see how it's snapping? It snaps at a weird place. You can just go F1 and you can fix it. Which gives a lot more customization options for towns and villages. You can make some funky shapes. Obviously you still want to take into account the house, but and they do snap to existing snap points, which is nice. But to begin with, actually I shall also show you the village house, which is just a plain house. no garden, but I believe the villagers can still plant flowers out the front, and just off their porch, which is a lovely addition, makes everything prettier. Let's go back up here. I'm going to go F1 for all these. It's a wee bit more time consuming. I want them to have as much garden as possible technically. So I'm interested to see how the full system of them growing their own crops is. Oh, I forgot to actually okay that there. Oops. So we'll go it right back so we get as much garden as possible. Wait, just do that one actually. The front, just to be different. Then enter. Enter. Oh, it's more, it's uneven terrain. Can't do that one at the front, so we'll just go to the side again. Copy the building. And we got one more over here. Over this side this time. That's 4 houses. Now you see this problem that we'd have in the last Alpha 3. The glorious bit, you can just go snip and straight up. So stick this one on the front. It's not going to be perfect, but I do like the fact you can heavily customise now. Allows for a lot greater design and layout of your villages and towns and everything. People might moan it's a wee bit more time consuming, but I like the idea. You can also rotate the buildings inside, so you could have it something like that. So I might just do it just because we can. That's 8. We need the thatchery. We don't really need the smithy, do we? Definitely don't need the carpenter. I will place another house down here when there's tents up moved, hopefully. Now what I also like to do is trade and transport. Stick a cart park over next to the industrial area. We'll stick it over here. And we'll also need some charcoal. I always seem to place it basically right next to this place. This is smithy. Because that's what needs it. Stick another one here. I always like it's firewood from the foresters. How many builders do we have right now? 5, that should be enough for now. Once we've got some buildings built, I'll be able to show you a lot more of the changes. You also see workers, residents, fields, problems, don't know what that is. Local market. Go to the whole bin. We still have the same 4 cities to trade with, but that's a little bit away. But speaking of fields, we could definitely do with a farm. We've got a little while before we can go into animals. Let's stick the farm back here. For now we'll speed up a little bit. Oh, I can't even add fields until it's built. I forgot that. Definitely need to speed up a little bit. We probably will not get into any farming this year. They've also, according to the notes, have improved the shadows in constructions. As you can see, the shadows definitely match the twisted bits, which is a great quality of life improvement, I would say. Still love the construction in this game. Basically seen every board. I like the trees. This game just gets better with every update. And building. Minimum of 2, so they can actually cut down trees. This building does not actually have the options I was looking to show you. Can't find wood, that's why Forester's always first. And now they should have lots of wood. So what's next? It's thatcheries. And the smithy, so we can get some nails in the go. Aha, we could use it with this actually. New buttons to make empty, destroy resources, and resource supply. So let's do the carter about wagon. Yeah, we'll switch it on anyway. Thatchery's done already, that was quick. So I always just tell this one to hire women. Because at the beginning of the game they don't really have much to do. This is one of the few jobs that they can do. One thing that has also changed in Alpha 4 is made women able to pull carts, but it does specify they're less efficient than males, which I believe will be down to strength. But they can do it now, instead of just always having to handball everything. Which is definitely a good improvement for any bustling city. The quicker you can get stuff moved, the quicker you can get stuff made. And after this we'll start battering into some housing. To have an action in, one. Get some wood going quicker a wee bit. Until we need to relocate them. Now it also feels slightly as if that has changed the game speed slightly. As if it's increased. Not sure if it was always times 12. You can check that out in an old video. But once again, if anyone's got any hints or tips or any advice for this game, or anything else you'd like to see me play, please stick it in the comments section. I will do my best. I would never say I'm a master at this game or any game, but I do enjoy these types of games and strategy games. Nope, why did 2 years leave? That's not good. That is back. Now one thing that I would like to see, I don't know if it has changed in this update, but see these paths that people make constantly going back and forth. But once you get or build a building, say over a section of path, I'd like for it to eventually disappear. Because the grass will grow back, but I haven't yet seen it do it in this game. Still plenty would come in, yep. Go and chop those trees, boys. So what's going on here? What supplies do we have? 4,000 thatch. 1,200 nails, that's quite good. And you are now no charcoal. Need more firewood. This one's almost full. No, 1,000. But the foresters are having a rest. Fair enough, fair enough. This house is almost done. has all the resources required. It's like a big, what about the oven and the chimney? I'm not sure, but I do feel as if the models for the houses are different, improved. Either that, they've just added in something. This is one of the new ones. Spin round. Have our first house. It also says in the patch notes that the resources required for the different variants of houses do change. So we could go for this. Let's go. 4,770 wood. 4,380. So they do alter. Now that's nice to see. Quite a substantial change. Different amount of nails. That's good quality of life. So hopefully we can get 9 buildings built. Look, we have a bush of a tree of some sort already out in front, which is nice. But here you go. Monthly income of the household, 6.25. That's quite high. This is builder, Thatcher. It also says here because we slightly increased this land for this house, just try it out. The land tax per month is 0.37, which will show up in here now. See, making a teensy little bit. Obviously, more houses, more land tax you get. And we don't see any gardens yet. I'm not sure if that will kick in until next sowing season. April, May. Just going to be interesting. Let's see if we can see any planted any plants. It's just waiting on wood. It also says in the patch notes that they'll start sending resources to the second in the queue. But so far, because it's at wood, I'm not sure if they'll send the nails and the thatch to this one in the clay, but it doesn't look like it. What are our builders actually doing? Resting. They're all on a rest. That might actually be the mayor's house. And it is. Hence why it's quite high income. Still taking a rest. How long is this rest going to be? Why are they not doing anything? Waiting for partner. Well, he's taking a rest. That's not good. By the time he gets there, that's when we'll go for a rest. Yep. So I'm definitely trying to get our guy in there. Hopefully get some of the dogs in now. I've still just got that much of a tree. I do wish they'd maybe increase the log limit. Put that charcoal in there now. But I'm going to bring you back in a minute once we've got these houses done, or unless we start seeing some foliage. I'll just wait a second and see what this house looks like. They're all away for a rest. But actually, I think this is quite a good place to leave episode 1, this new season of Ostriv Alpha 4. We're going to hopefully start seeing some foliage and some plants planted in the gardens of these houses. And we're going to go through and make a massive city, hopefully, and explore all the exciting new changes, new optimizations. Yes, we designed as well. But this is where I'll leave it. Thank you very much for watching, and if you're still here, please don't forget to hit that like button and the subscribe button. And once again, any hints, tips or comments, put them in the comment section down below. Thank you very much for watching. Whatever you do, enjoy.